Richard Layard, Happiness, Lessons from a New Science. In this age of materialism, the true source of happiness seems elusive. In the book, Happiness, Lessons from a New Science, Richard Layard encourages us to reconsider our preconceived notions of happiness and success. He dives into scientific research to determine the factors that truly contribute to happiness and a fulfilling life. In our fast-paced world, on the never-ending search for gratification, this book summary seeks to provide you with valuable insights on finding balance and rediscovering the vital aspects of life that sustain happiness, debunking the common misconception that material wealth is equivalent to being happy.
Measuring happiness. Happiness is not a mysterious phenomenon. It can be scientifically measured using subjective and objective methods. Studies have shown that most people subjectively rate their happiness either the same or lower since 1945. However, neuroscientists have identified specific areas of the brain that are active when individuals experience happiness or positive emotions. The left frontal area of the brain is activated during positive emotions and is associated with feelings of pride, joy, and gratefulness, while negative emotions are linked to the right frontal area. Infants' brains also show activation in the left frontal area when they suck on sweet foods. Neuroscientists have demonstrated that stimulating the left frontal part of the brain with a strong magnet can positively affect a person's mood. Therefore, happiness is measurable, and scientists continue to explore different methods to study it. The science of happiness and its impact on health. Discover how being happy can benefit your physical health, boost your immune system, and prevent severe health conditions. Happiness goes beyond just a good feeling, as it has been proven to have a positive effect on many bodily functions. Happy people have higher levels of happiness hormones, which reduce the level of cortisol, the stress hormone that impacts our immune system and contributes to aging. Therefore, increasing happiness equals less stress, thereby boosting one's health. Surveys have shown that happy people have a stronger immune system, preventing common cold and other diseases. They also tend to recover faster and possibly have fewer symptoms than unhappy people. More significantly, happiness reduces the risk of severe health conditions such as heart attack and restricted blood flow in arteries. A study shows that Oscar-winning actors lived 4 years longer than those who lost. Overall, being happy has a remarkable impact on our general well-being. This book summary explains how happiness is not just a feeling but a beneficial aspect of our physical health. Why we choose what we choose. Our evolutionary drive to pursue happiness and avoid unhappiness is the main force behind our decision-making. This innate driver of behavior developed over human evolution. From eating foods rich in calories that made us feel happy, fear that helped our ancestors avoid danger, to mating, everything leads to happiness. Meanwhile, hunger, thirst, loneliness, or being poisoned led to unhappiness and were detrimental to our progenitors' survival. Therefore, emotions such as fear developed to signal that we should avoid situations that would cause unhappiness. Pursuing happiness and avoiding unhappiness remain the strongest determinants of our behavior to this day, even though our environment has changed significantly. The paradox of progress and happiness. Despite economic growth and improved living standards, the Western world has not become happier since the 1950s. Surveys reveal that the increase in wealth and income did not result in higher levels of happiness. Moreover, depression, alcoholism, and crime rates have increased significantly during this period. The disintegration of families has also become more common. The paradox of progress is that, as societies develop, people seem to become less happy. The book challenges the belief that material possessions can bring lasting happiness and proposes alternative paths to well-being. The Perils of Comparison. Humans are innately competitive and tend to compare themselves with others, especially when it comes to income. While an absolute paycheck doesn't necessarily lead to happiness, having a relatively higher income than peers can create feelings of respect and value. Conversely, earning less than colleagues may result in feelings of worthlessness and unhappiness. In societies that promote competition, many individuals feel caught in a never-ending rat race. The reunification of Germany is a concrete example of how people who were once relatively prosperous felt a significant decline in confidence following a rise in their standard of living because they began to compare themselves with wealthier Western Germans. Overall, comparing ourselves to others can lead to unrealistic expectations and feelings of inadequacy, leading to more harm than good in the long run. Chasing happiness. Humans have a tendency to adapt to new circumstances, including financial gains, leading to a temporary boost in happiness that fades over time. As a result, we continuously seek out new sources of happiness, which can ultimately become a vicious cycle that never leads to permanent satisfaction. Pursuing an endless cycle of earning and consuming cannot replace lasting, inner contentment. Wealth and happiness. The correlation between wealth and happiness has been observed between wealthy and poor countries. Extreme poverty leads to a lack of basic needs, causing a profound unhappiness. Increasing income in such cases of extreme poverty leads to increased happiness. However, studies suggest beyond an annual salary of $20,000, happiness stops increasing in concert with income. Thus, achieving the greatest happiness for the greatest number cannot be solely based on money. The lesson is to focus on fulfilling other human needs such as the need for social connection, self-actualization, and contributing to society. Factors influencing overall well-being. The World Values Survey has revealed the top 5 factors affecting our general happiness: family relationships, financial situation, especially for those at risk of poverty, work, community and friends, and health. Family relationships are shown to be the most crucial factor in our well-being, whereas financial situation, work, and community influence our sense of purpose, self-worth, and belonging. Personal freedom and values also play a significant role in our happiness, with those living in free societies and having positive philosophies of life reporting higher levels of well-being. Ultimately, the study emphasizes that our overall well-being is determined by multiple factors and not solely by financial prosperity. Pursuing happiness beyond GDP. Governments should focus on people's needs for happiness, not on economic growth as the ultimate goal. Material wealth has increased in the past 50 years, yet people have not become happier. The reason for this is that Western governments have focused on economic growth, forgetting about factors that are crucial to people's happiness such as family, friends, and health. The use of GDP as the main indicator of a country's well-being was appropriate after the Second World War because people were poor and craved material wealth. However, in today's world of relative abundance, a country's GDP does not correspond to the happiness, needs, and desires of its people. The author suggests that politicians should shift their focus on discovering what people today actually need instead of satisfying the needs of generations long gone. Material wealth should not be the ultimate goal for governments since family, social bonds, and meaningful work are what is essential to lead a happier life. The tiny Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan serves as an excellent example of pursuing gross national happiness instead of just gross national product. Bhutan's wealth is redistributed to minimize extreme poverty and status competition among its population. The result is a far happier population compared to people living elsewhere. Greater happiness through higher taxes. Imagine paying more taxes would mean living a happier and more fulfilling life. While challenging, the idea is not far from the truth. Research shows that higher, progressive income taxes can improve our overall well-being. If we are discouraged from working too hard and focusing on money, we tend to enjoy our relationships, personal growth, and leisure time. As such, we can achieve a healthier work-life balance and avoid the downsides of always craving for instant gratification. In a world where income inequality is rampant, progressive taxation can help reduce people's competitive drive and diminish their tendency to compare themselves to others. It can level the playing field and put a stop to the rat race, leading to more significant overall happiness. So, while it may be unpopular, higher taxes can pave the way for a more fulfilled existence. Building a happier society. The key to happiness lies in family, and governments can play a significant role in promoting it. By making workplaces more family-friendly, reducing commute times, preventing unemployment, and prioritizing mental health care and education in moral values and emotional intelligence, governments can help create a happy society. Working environments with flexible hours and parental leave, as well as offices with child care facilities, can enable people to spend more time with their loved ones. Commute times and shifting workplaces can make it hard to establish stable relationships and friendships. Incentivizing workers to stay close to family and friends can encourage happier communities. Unemployment can cause unhappiness, damage self-esteem, and harm societies, hence, governments must ensure the unemployed are offered jobs. Mental disorders are a significant source of unhappiness and require attention, with little allocation of health funds to mental health. Investing in children's education, especially with the inclusion of subjects like moral values and emotional intelligence, can significantly increase happiness.
Richard Layard's Happiness, Lessons from a New Science, reaffirms the critical message that true happiness doesn't solely stem from material wealth. The key to sustained happiness lies in putting emphasis on family, work-life balance, mental health, and nurturing a sense of community. Happiness affects our physical health and overall well-being, implying that the pursuit of happiness should be a priority rather than an afterthought. Governments, too, have an essential role to play in promoting happiness, as seen in Bhutan's remarkable focus on gross national happiness over GDP. Throughout this book's summary, we have learned valuable lessons that challenge us to reevaluate our priorities and rediscover what truly matters in our pursuit of happiness.